Welcome back to the channel. So in the previous session we have discussed about roster form and set builder form. In this session we are going to discuss about the types of sets, right? So before going to types of sets, so first of all we need to know about cardinal number. So what is meant by a cardinal number? So cardinal number is nothing but the number of elements present in a given set. The number of elements that are present in a given set is nothing but called as cardinal number. So for suppose if I consider a set A which contains the elements A, E, I, O, U. So clearly this set contains 5 elements. Now this cardinal number is generally represented by n of the name of the given set. So here the set name is A, so n of A is equal to 5. Now the cardinal number of set A is nothing but 5, right? So cardinal number means the number of elements that are present in the given set. Now coming to the types of sets. So basing on this cardinal number we are having different types of sets. So regarding that we are going to discuss. The first one is null set. The first one is null set. So this null set is also called as empty set, or it is also called as void set. So there are 3 names for this particular set. So what is the meaning of a null set? So null set or empty set is nothing but a set which contains no elements. It contains no elements. So for suppose if I consider a set B such that it contains no elements inside it, it is called as null set. So this is nothing but roster form representation of null set, or this can also be represented by this particular symbol phi, right? So null set is represented in 2 different symbolic representations. So one is a set which contains no elements, or by a symbol phi. So if you take one example, so I am taking one set builder form. So x such that x square plus 2 is equal to 0, where x belongs to natural numbers. So do you have any natural number, so which makes this equation x square plus 2 is equal to 0? So there is no such value of x in natural number set which makes this particular equation as 0. Hence this we say it as an empty set. The same way there are some more examples, if you want you can take. So x such that 5 less than x less than 6, x belongs to some natural number. So if you observe this particular set builder form, so x is nothing but a natural number which lies in between 5 and 6. Is there any natural number that lies in between 5 and 6? So clearly it is an empty set. So this is nothing but the concept of null set. In this particular null set you need to be careful while writing the conditions. So somewhere in some questions he might be asked like this. So set containing 5. So is this a null set? So can you say that it is a null set? So it is not a null set, because inside the brackets so we are having an element named 5. So this is not a null set. So we should not consider this as a null set. The same way, so you need to have either of these 2 conditions, then only we say that it is a null set. Next coming to the second one. The second one is nothing but singleton set. The name itself suggests single. Single means 1. So if a particular set contains only one element, then such a set is nothing but called as singleton set. So what I can say, so n of some set is nothing but 1. So if you are having a set A whose cardinal number is 1, then we say that it is as singleton set. So the best example of singleton set is nothing but set of 2. Set of 2, which is nothing but x such that x is even prime. So there is no other even prime other than 2. So this set 2 is nothing but the best example for singleton set. So singleton set means the set which contains only one element, right? Next, after this we are going to have finite sets and infinite sets. So finite set, so finite means we are having certain countable number of elements. If the cardinal number of a given set is a finite number, then we say that the given set is a finite set. So generally if you consider, so finite sets are nothing but it contains 0 elements or countable number of elements. So from this what I can say, null set and set with countable number of elements. Null set along with set with countable number of elements is called as finite set. So finite set means you can able to say the cardinal number of the given set. So the best examples are set of vowels. So set of vowels is nothing but A, E, I, O, U. The same way the sets with which you will have some restrictions. So restrictions in the sense, so natural numbers from 1 to 10 if you say, so then simply 1 to 10. Here we can clearly count the number of elements. Next, for this opposite is infinite sets. The opposite of finite sets is infinite sets. So what is infinite set? So infinite set means we can't count the number of elements. So we can't say the cardinal number of the given set. Such type of sets are nothing but called as infinite sets. So already you are having a huge collection of sets. So those are nothing but already we have discussed. So if you are having uncountable number of elements, then such a set is nothing but called as infinite set. So already you know the examples: natural number set, whole number set, integer set. So these all are nothing but the collection of infinite sets. Next, coming to the concept of equivalent sets. Equivalent. So equivalent sets means the sets which are having their cardinal numbers as equal. So for suppose if I consider a set A, so which is containing the elements 1, 2, 3, and if I consider a set B which contains elements A, B, C. Now if I see what is the cardinal number of set A, so cardinal number of set A is nothing but 3. The same way, what is the cardinal number of set B? Set B is also 3. If cardinal numbers of two sets are same, then we say that those sets are equivalent sets. Equivalent sets. So you should be clear about this. If cardinal numbers are, if cardinal numbers are same for two sets, then we say those sets as equivalent sets. Next is equal sets. So you need to differentiate between equivalent sets and equal sets. So the difference between equivalent sets and equal sets. So here equivalent sets means their cardinal numbers should be same. In equal sets, so along with cardinal number it should satisfy one more condition. So that is, if two sets have same elements, if two sets have same elements, then we call it as equal sets. We call it as equal sets. For suppose, if I take one set A, so which is nothing but some 1 2 3, and if I take some set 3 1 2, so here order is not important, already we have discussed. So set A contains 1 2 3, set B contains 3 1 2, so that means it contains the same elements. So if you observe the number of elements in this particular set, there are 3, in this particular set also there are 3 elements. So cardinal numbers are same. Along with cardinal number, if elements are also same, along with cardinal number, if elements are also same, then we say such sets as equal sets, right? So the difference between equivalent sets and equal sets is it satisfies two conditions, it satisfies only one condition. Now from this we can bring out a conclusion, that is, all equal sets are equivalent sets. All equal sets are equivalent sets, but its vice versa is not possible. But we can say that all equivalent sets, but all equivalent sets are not equal sets. So here it is satisfying two conditions. So among those two conditions, so this follows one condition. So we can say that all equal sets are equivalent sets, but all equivalent sets are not equal sets. Okay. Next, universal set. So universal set is nothing but set of all sets. It is a set of all sets. So whatever the sets that are present in the world, or whatever the things that we are discussing, so if you collect all those sets and if you write in a single set, then such a set is nothing but called as universal set. So that's why we call it as set of all sets, right? So this particular universal set is represented by the symbol mu. So you will be representing the universal set by the symbol mu, or you can simply represent with the capital U. So you will be representing with the capital U. So whenever you are having a universal set, then we come across a concept called as subset. So for this, if you consider one example, if you treat a set A as 1 3 5 7 and you take one set B as 2 4 6 8, then the universal set is nothing but the set of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. That means here in this particular context we are discussing about the elements of set A and set B. So if you combine them, so then you are going to get the universal set. So universal set is nothing but the set which contains all the elements of the sets. Now discussing about subset. So subset, the name itself suggests this is a set. For that set you need to take the subset. So subset means the set which is smaller than the given set, right? So subset means if all the elements of a particular set belongs to another given set, then the set which is given is nothing but called as subset. Next one is subset. So subset means, so if you are having any set, any two sets A and B, so if A and B are any two sets, and if all the elements of A, if all the elements of A are present in B, if all the elements of set A are present in set B, then we say A is subset of B. A is subset of B. For suppose, if you take one example, set A contains the elements 1, 2, 3 and set B contains the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you observe each and every element of set A, so in set A what are the elements that are present? 1, 2 and 3. So in set B all those 3 elements are present. Then we say that A is subset to B, and it is represented in this particular way. A is subset to B. So this is the symbol for subset, right? So A is subset to B. So this is symbolic representation for A subset to B. Now let us consider one more example. So if you are having set A which contains the elements 1, 2, 3, and there is a set which contains the elements 1, 3, 4 and 5. Can you say A is subset of B? So can you say A is subset of B? So why we can't say that A is subset of B? Because here the element 2 is present in set A but it is not there in B. Can you say B is subset of A? So here we cannot say B is subset of A, because subset means nothing but the number of elements should be less than the given set. Here set A contains 3 elements, set B contains 4 elements. So we can never say that B is a subset of A. Now clearly from this we can write this as A is not subset to B. So if any element is missing, then clearly we say that it is not a subset to A is not subset to B. So here we need to recall the concept of belongs to and the subset. So some students may get confusion related to these two concepts. See, whenever you are considering belongs to, so belongs to comes when you treat element. So whenever you consider an element, then only we are going to have belongs to concept. So whenever you are dealing with sets, so whenever you are having sets, then you are going to deal with subsets, right? So whenever you are having both sides, as so on left hand side as well as right hand side you are having set, so then only the concept of subset is not a subset will come, right? Next, coming to the proper subset and improper subset, right? There are two concepts, improper subset and the next one is proper subset. So about these two things you need to have a clear idea. So improper subset means, what is meant by subset? So subset means nothing but a set which contains the elements should contain everything in the other set, right? Now if I take the set 1, 2, 3 and if I set it is subset to 1, 2, 3, so if you observe this, it contains all the 3 elements, it also contains all the 3 elements. So can you say that it is a subset? Yes, we can say, but so there is one condition which we call it as improper subset. So improper subset means you are taking all the set of all the elements, so as it is set you are considering here, so that's why we call it as improper subset. So when can you say it is a proper subset? So to discuss about this, first of all we need to know so that number of subsets that are present for a given set, right? So let us see that. Okay, so if you consider a set A, so which contains the elements 1, 2 and 3. Now we are going to write the subsets of this particular set A. Now what are the subsets? The subsets of set A are nothing but the first one is empty set, and next the sets which contains one element, so which are nothing but set of 1, set of 2, set of 3. Next, taking the elements, taking the sets which are containing 2 elements, so 1 2, set of 1 3, set of 2 3, and next containing 3 elements. So here set containing 0 elements, sets containing 1 element, sets containing 2 elements, sets containing 3 elements. Because we are having 3 elements, so totally how many subsets we got? See, subset means nothing but the sets which are having lesser number of elements present in the set. Now since we are having 3 elements here, so we can start from the set with 0 elements, so null set. Next is set containing 1 element, so 1 2 3. Likewise next containing 2 elements, so set of 1 2, set of 1 3, set of 2 3. Next set of 1 2 3. So totally if we count, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now if you count the number of subsets, so total number of subsets, so total number of subsets is nothing but 8. Now if you consider one more which is containing only 2 elements. Now if I consider the subsets for this particular expression, so for this set, then the subsets are empty set, set containing 1 element which are nothing but set of A, set of B, and the set containing 2 elements. So if you count the number of subsets, so 1 2 3 4. Now the number of subsets is equal to 4. So if you observe the pattern, see here the number of subsets is 8, there the number of subsets is 4. Now can I write this as 2 cube? So 8 can be written as 2 cube. The same way here I can write it as 2 square. Now if you observe here, since it contains 2 elements, so number of subsets is 2 square. Here since I have 3 elements, so the number of subsets is 2 cube. Now for suppose if I am having some set C which contains some n elements, then what can I say the number of subsets as? So what can be the number of subsets formula then? So based on these two observations we can simply say, so if a set contains n number of elements, then clearly the number of subsets for a set containing n elements is 2 power n. So you can use this formula to find out number of subsets for a given set, right? Now let us see proper and improper subsets. Proper and improper subsets. Now the ones which have underlined are nothing but we call them as proper subsets, right? Now let us see proper and improper subsets. So if you observe, so the ones which I have underlined, so these all are nothing but called as proper subsets. So these all are proper subsets. So proper subset means, so we are going to consider the sets which contain 0 terms, 1 term, 2 terms. So likewise, so this particular subset is nothing but the set itself. So that's why since it is the set itself, so we call it as improper subset. we call it as improper subset. Now from this we can obtain one formula. So what is that? So if I want number of proper subsets, if I want number of proper subsets, so then what we can say? So from all the subsets we are removing one particular set, that is set itself. So from this what I can say, the formula is 2 power n minus 1. Number of proper subsets formula is nothing but 2 power n minus 1. So from this one more thing we can observe, that is this particular null set. So this particular null set is nothing but called as, so null set is subset of every set. So here null set is subset of every set. So clearly you can observe here, null set is subset of every set. So this statement you need to remember, null set is subset of every set. Next, one more thing, if you observe this is set itself, no? So set of 1 2 3 is set itself. Here also set of AB is set itself. Now what we can say? So from this what I can say is every set is subset to itself. Every set is subset to itself. So this is one important point, and this is one more important point. Every null set is subset of every set, the same way every set is subset to itself. So from this we have concluded that the number of subsets is 2 power n. Next, number of proper subsets is 2 power n minus 1. So why this minus 1 came means we are removing the set itself. Next, so there is one more particular condition. So number of non-empty proper subsets, number of non-empty proper subsets. So number of non-empty means, what is meant by non-empty? Non-empty means the set should not be empty. So from these observations we need proper subsets. So proper subsets means you need to consider only these 2 power n minus 1 cases. So among those cases there is one case in which we are having empty set, right? So that particular set also we need to subtract. So already number of proper subsets is 2 power n minus 1. So from those I need to remove that particular empty set, so which is nothing but minus 1. So from this what I am going to get? 2 power n minus 2. So this is nothing but the formula to find out number of non-empty proper subsets. So this is nothing but the concept related to subsets, right? So based on these subsets we are going to have one more set, that is nothing but we call it as power set. Power set. So this power set is nothing but defined as the set of all subsets. The set of all subsets. So you are getting subsets now, right? So those subsets if I keep inside a set, then such a set is nothing but called as power set. So power set is nothing but simply, what is the definition? Set of all subsets. If you take set of all subsets, then we call it as power set. So it is denoted by, for suppose if I am considering a particular set A, then power set of A is nothing but denoted by capital P of A. So power set of A is denoted by capital P of A. For suppose if I take one example, so the previous example if I consider, so set of A is nothing but some 1 2 3, then the power set of A, so P of A is represented by the set of all its subsets. So what are the subsets of A? So already we have discussed earlier, so which are nothing but empty set, or simply I can represent this as phi. So instead of writing empty set I can directly write phi here. So phi. Next, set containing element 1, set containing element 2, set containing element 3, set containing elements 1 and 2, set containing elements 1 and 3, set containing elements 2 and 3, next set containing elements 1, 2 and 3. So if you write all the subsets within a set, then that particular set is nothing but called as power set. So power set of the given set, so P of A. Now from this, if you want to find the number of elements, in the power set, then it is nothing but given by n of P of A. N of P of A is nothing but 2 power n. So simply what we can say here, so these all are nothing but subsets only. So all these subsets are kept inside a set. So if you count the number of elements, so those sets are nothing but all are subsets. So already we have the formula for subset. So from this clearly the cardinal number of power set of A is nothing but given by 2 power n. So here this particular set A contains 3 elements, so we can say 2 cube, which is equal to 8. So in general, this is nothing but the formula which we use to find out the number of elements in the power set.